That is right. We are here and fired up for today's masterclass. How's it going? My name is Sean Cannell. We've probably already met before, but thank you so much for being here. I am super excited to dive into the content today. Here is what we're going to be doing. I was going to look for a copy of, ready for real professional over here. If we're just meeting, I'm the author of YouTube Secrets, and my passion is helping people learn the best tips and tools for leveraging online video to create financial freedom. How do you get views? How do you build your influence? But then how do you ultimately produce income? But today I'm going to be covering some stuff I've really never covered before. And so I'm excited to talk about that. And we're going to be doing some questions. And so I'm excited to jump into it. And let me see. What's up, Melissa, Mr. Sketchy, Crack-a-Lack TV, Anja, Andre. Question for you. Where are you watching from? Let me know where you're watching from. Let me throw this up and see if our slides are working. Where are you from? Give me a shout out. I'm in Las Vegas right now from my home office, just sipping some coffee this morning. We've got Crack-a-Lack TV from Michigan, Netherlands, Anja, Ethio from Ethiopia, Calgary here, North Las Vegas. What's up, Elena? What's up, Drive By Christian in Kentucky? Man, Arizona, Texas, New Jersey, Netherlands, New York, New Orleans. Super pumped that you're on here. And so thanks so much for being here. Hey, for time's sake, I want to dive into this. And I definitely also want to answer questions and whatnot for you regarding our content. But I've got a whole deck going. So we're going to dive straight into this. And here we go. So today's topic is actually how I got fired, started a new business with social media, and got paid $17,064 in one day. Now, of course, the story is true. I know it's kind of a crazy headline, but I'm going to be talking about like this exact story and some principles that are very powerful right now and what I believe is the best business model for making real income online in 2019 and beyond. And so in this training, we're going to talk about the exact online business model that took me from getting fired to financial freedom, the secret to creating massive impact and massive profit by tapping into a $355 million a day industry, how to get paid for a skill, passion, hobby, or expertise that you already have, and more, plus Q&A. And if you have something to take notes with, I encourage you, shut out distractions and set some time to watch this training. It's going to be an hour long, and I've got some very valuable content. You'll want to take some notes that you can apply for your own business and brand. And yeah, I've got some very valuable things to share. Plus, you may have seen that right now, my friend Chalene Johnson has been talking about her program, the Marketing Impact Academy. So towards the end, there's some cool things that we're doing regarding that. But buckle your seatbelt, because we are getting into it. Hey, our mission is to help people build their influence with online video and social media, based here in Las Vegas. We've got a small team here at Think Media. And again, over the last few years, I've been on that mission, just having the opportunity to speak and travel and create content all around helping people build their influence. I've probably been most known, and you maybe know me the most for like YouTube and online video. And over the years now, we've worked with Cannell and DJI and vidIQ and Amazon. This is just kind of some backstory if you're new to our tribe. Wrote the book YouTube Secrets. And I've done a lot of things right over the years, but I've also done a lot of things wrong. And after doing this for 10 plus years, it's 2019 as we're watching this right now. Think Media, my main YouTube channel, started in 2010, and I didn't focus on it entirely then, but first YouTube channel I ever managed was 2007. I started video in 2003. So I've been doing this for a while, right? And I've done a lot of things right and experienced some success, but also I've done a lot of things wrong. And after doing this for 10 years, I can look back and I've discovered the shortest path to making real money online. I want to share that with you today. One of the best business models for 2019, what I wish I did different, lean in for that, and the fact that you can plug this into any business. So what we're going to be talking about, it doesn't matter if you haven't started yet, if you already have a pre-existing business, but maybe you feel like you're trading time for money. I just had a conversation with someone whose profession is causing them so much pain. They love what they do, but they need a way to be getting at me because their body as they get older. So they're looking for other ways to create income. What's cool is you can plug this in to any other business, no matter whether you're brick and mortar. There's people in our community doing that, or whether you do this like specifically. So anyways, a lot of fun. So I discovered this the hard way, and you get to really get the cheat though. You get to cheat, and you get this the easy way. And it all starts with a story. So back in 2014, this is a picture of me from a YouTube video I pulled out. I was living in an apartment complex in Irvine, California, and I was a campus pastor of a church at the time, meaning there's multi-sites, and I was overseeing the day-to-day of a site that was out of state, and we'd like had the main pastor would pipe in through video. And throughout that whole season when I was doing that, I was always like working on my side hustle, and maybe you can relate, like working on my YouTube channel. And I mean, I wrote a book called YouTube for Churches, so I was deep in social media and all this kind of stuff. And during this time, there was a few things going well because I was figuring out ranking videos, YouTube. I'm making a little bit of money with YouTube ads. And this is Sonia and I were living in Irvine. This is down at Laguna Beach. And this was my office, right? So you could imagine I got my pile of books there. And this is where I would do kind of some freelance work, my YouTube work, and that kind of stuff. But at the time, I wasn't making like a ton of income. And here's exactly what I mean. Like right at this time, this is actually 2014, December 1st through 2015. I was making $107 on YouTube ads. That's a month snapshot of how much I made in YouTube ads. And then in affiliate marketing, you can see through 2014, this time, it's working. $255, $22, $334, $293. So on any given month, between YouTube ads and affiliate marketing, I was making around $500. Pretty cool. However, as you can imagine, I don't know how much your rent or your mortgage is. I don't know where you live and how many dependents you have. When you have just that income, $500 a month is not about to like pay your rent, your car bill, and your insurance. You know what I'm saying? And so I truly wasn't making enough to pay rent. And that was why I was starting to look for other answers. And I actually discovered something at the time when I was at Los Olivos. That's also, I'd go to the gym, I'd work out in the treadmill and whatnot, and I'd listen to podcasts. And I actually discovered a podcast back then, and that's when I first discovered Chalene Johnson. So I listened to her podcast, Build Your Tribe, and it started to break down basically revealing to me that I didn't have a real business. And I was realizing that, meaning, so I was doing YouTube ads on social media, and Chalene teaches a lot about, she's a business expert and social media expert, and she teaches a lot about actually building your online business, how to do sales online and marketing online. And what I just discovered was I was like, okay, cool. I'm kind of making money, but I'm working really, really hard, and it's not really producing the greatest results. And actually, let me actually know from you in the live chat if you've made your first dollar online yet. Like, are you doing any income from YouTube ads or like affiliate marketing? Tell me in the chat, and I will check in with you in just a second. But here's the thing: is I was doing this the hard way, and the hard way for me was I was focused on YouTube ads and affiliate marketing. And you could see the reason that's fine, but you could but ultimately our passion here at Think Media is to help 10,000 people create a full-time living doing what they love and making a difference with online video. So that's what, from a full-time standpoint, like I needed a different path, right? Especially to get there with any kind of speed. I was also leaving thousands of dollars on the table because I hadn't taken the time to sit down and actually work on my business and maybe even think my business through. I was missing out on a lot of money I could be making. I don't want you to make that same mistake. And I was also exhausted and overworking for the results I was getting. Now, I'm all for the hustle, and I also am not about, get rich quick or any of that kind of stuff, because it of course is going to take work, but you might be able to relate, like something's got to give. You only have so much energy, you only have so much time. And so seeing YouTube ads go up a little bit and affiliate marketing go up a little bit was just, was kind of a challenge. And by the way, a couple of answers coming in. The first layer, around $200 a month on YouTube. Great job. And see, I love that too, because that's actually amazing. To make $200 a month on YouTube ads is great, but you probably feel like you're really far away from 2,000 and even further away from 5,000. You know what I mean? Of course. But the cool thing is there's so many other ways you can monetize even with a smaller audience and even when you're just starting. And that's what this presentation is all about. So let me know. Aaron's already making money online. Some people are saying not yet. Some people already have. So maybe you can relate to these different income streams. Again, the problem for me was it was just YouTube ads and affiliate marketing. Like I needed another way. So I'm curious, do you want the easy way to making significant income online that doesn't require being YouTube famous? Would you be interested in that? Let me know in the chat because that's what this is all about. So here is a screenshot now of software that I use to host like my online programs, and it's actually where my website is built and whatnot. And here's a screenshot back now from 2016. Now this is coming out throughout 2014. I started listening to Chalene Johnson's stuff, eventually joining her Marketing Impact Academy, applying what I learned, and it led to this. And so this was 1 hour. This was a life-changing moment for me. In 1 hour, I generated $6,410. And then actually you could see the rest of these green. This was throughout June in 2016 now. It ended up being $17,064 in 1 month. Powerful, right? And it came in throughout the month, but it was the result of the actions of just one day. So there's the promise of this headline, right? Of the story was that and I guess I should back up. During that time, we moved from Irvine to Las Vegas. And as I transitioned out of the church role and into a freelance role, I was still working for some ministries doing social media work. I was working for some other clients, but I'll never forget October 2015. And in October 2015 was when I lost all my clients. They all fired me in 1 month. And I mean, it was like they hired some employees and they're like, we don't need a contractor anymore. One of them actually like straight up fired me. And one of them was kind of just transitioning and we saw it coming anyways. But the problem was, we lost 80 to 90% of our income in 1 month, my wife and I. And we were making around $5,000 a month from freelance clients, trading time for money. We had our normal day-to-day business or freelancing. But when we lost all our clients, all my money disappeared. So I went from fired at the October 2015 to a few months into 2016, making $17,064 in 1 day. Pretty crazy from fired, And it's based on this new business model that I want to talk to you about in this video. Now, of course, I have to say this. Results are not typical. I'm going to walk you through specific promotions and systems that are earning huge sales numbers right now. My results are certainly not typical, and the average person who attends any training like this gets 0 results. However, I am happy to show you exactly what's working for me for free, and this is not for get-rich-quick people. Okay, so... And, I have to say that, and I know you know this, I don't know if you'll take action or where you're starting or what your background is, but I'm just sharing my results, sharing, my story, okay? And so here's the 3 secrets of how I got fired, started a new business in social media, and got paid $17,064 in 1 day. And here's the big idea. I created and sold an online course based on my knowledge and experience. That's the big idea. I created and I sold an online course based on my knowledge and experience. And if you're watching this and you're hearing me right now, and this is the only thing you get out of this presentation, I need you to know that it is my conviction that you should do the same thing. And I'm going to show you exactly why right now, okay? Here's secret number 1. I can make more in 1 day selling an online course than I can in a month of YouTube ads and affiliate marketing. This is a fact. So when we look at this online education industry, and we'll explain a little bit more about it, Forbes wrote an article recently that the e-learning industry is going to be climbing to $325 billion by 2025. It says right here in the first line that e-learning is the future. And so what we're discovering here is that between now and 2025, the reason I wanted to do this presentation is because we are now in a new wave. And it doesn't mean YouTube is, not happening now or whatever, but like YouTube is maturing and there's definitely opportunities on other social platforms. But it's very smart as an entrepreneur like yourself to be looking ahead at where's the trends, where are the waves. And when we look ahead at those numbers, by 2025, it's basically $1 billion a day industry. $1 billion per day. People are going to take their credit cards and transact online to buy digital education courses. Why is it happening? Well, a lot of reasons. The education system is losing kind of goodwill and influence in the marketplace as student debt soars, as people are no longer able to use their degree potentially at the same level. I heard a stat recently that 3 out of 4 people will not end up in a job based on the degree that they went to school for. So people are finding out that generalized traditional education is really not cutting it. There's been some cutting edge CEOs saying we don't care what the education of people who come to our company is. We care what their skills are. We care what their specialized knowledge is. And now the ability to educate is being democratized around the whole world, that anybody can create anything from helping someone save money on their taxes, to mathematics course, to radio frequency courses, to online marketing, to YouTube, to social media, to anything at all. E-learning is the future. So if e-learning is the future and you're passionate about building your influence on social media and generating income online, then you have to be in this space. I mean, makes sense? And so when we talk about e-learning, it's kind of like digital products. And what's a digital product? Well, it's creating an online course. It also could be creating like a membership site. Like there's lots of different ways. In fact, even just integrated into YouTube is channel memberships. Now, it's not exactly what I'm talking about here, but it's this idea that people could subscribe for $4.99 a month to get exclusive content from you. And so all kinds of different membership communities, sometimes they're gathered around education or sometimes just community. And then you also have digital products of any kind. And while we're specifically talking about online courses today, this is things that are, when it's digital, it's one of the best business models to have. So Omar El Takori on the Think Media team has these LUTs that he sells that makes his photos look cool. He sells them for $25. They're digital and they just plug right into Lightroom. And because he's used YouTube, created a digital product, and mastered a few fundamental online marketing skills, he's generating between $600 to $1,200 a month in passive reoccurring revenue off of a digital product. Now, if someone's like, you know what, I want to return this, he just clicks a few buttons and he returns it. No shipping, no mailing, you know what I'm saying? Powerful, powerful stuff. So question for you, have you ever invested in a digital product? And if you have any questions about this, we'll do Q&A in a bit. So post those in the chat. But I'm curious, have you ever, at this point, have you done a Skillshare course, a Udemy course? Have you ever invested in a digital product before? Let me know. But why we're talking about this, like why digital products? There's a couple big reasons why I am obsessed with this being I said one of the best business models. It's my opinion, it's the best business model to be in 2019 if you can do it. And I'm so passionate about this that it's almost like even if you hadn't even been thinking about this until right now, I would want you to start pivoting to say, man, I got to get in that industry. Like I got to do that. And here's why. Well, one, it's a growing industry. When you look at how much sheer volume, it's kind of like if we could go back in history and it'd be like, Sean, would you, if you could be at the California gold rush and be like right there and like born, you know what I mean? You could be right or like right in the middle of the .com boom, like, and not get screwed over by it, but I actually do, you know what I mean? This is a growing industry. It's like just firing up. And so you want to be positioned in the right place at the right time. Number two, low overhead. The overhead of digital products and online courses is like nothing. And so even if you come to the tune where to start a business like this, again, home internet, home electricity, like a webcam, a laptop, stuff you already have. Like if you're already watching this, you could get in this game. You know what I'm saying? And when I think about history and I think about my grandfather who ran like a dental practice with rent, when I think about my dad who leases trucks and property and bids, my dad runs a multi 7-figure business, but sometimes the margins are small or like nothing. They actually lose on a deal because there's all this stuff can break and trucks can break. It's electrical contracting. There's all kinds of things. This industry, it's like no overhead. You know what I mean? Like home office, do a few things, and then high margins. The margins, when you sell like a digital product, are 90 to 100%. I mean, you get a few fees, you know what I'm saying, in there. Whereas I've got a friend who runs a multiple 8-figure business and it's selling physical products. So you're like, wow, that means over $20 million a year. Yeah, but his margins could be less than 10%. So that's still it's pretty good. You know what I mean? Still, but scary because there's a lot of risk. There's times where he was saying how shipping pallets come over of tech from China, and sometimes they have water damage and they don't even cover it. They say we'll split it if they're lucky. Like, you'll take on the risk. So there's low overhead, there's high margins. The simplicity of it is that the fact you can get in the game. It doesn't mean it's totally simple. Like, there's a lot to learn, but like overall, the simplicity, I'm sure you can see this, the freedom of it, the fact you could do it what you want, where you want, when you want. I know so many people that are tied to a 9 to 5, tied to a specific location, even as entrepreneurs. And when you get into the digital product game, you have massive freedom and then low risk. Again, so then you think, what if it fails? Or what if I launch one and it doesn't succeed? That's usually part of the journey. You know what I mean? Like, but the cool thing about it is, like, what if you open a brick and mortar restaurant and it doesn't succeed? You're going to have piles of debt, you know what I'm saying? Like, loans, you're going to have all this kind of stuff. Whereas potentially you could get into this game with absolutely low risk. Follow me? So also scalability. Once you create a digital product once, this is so good for coaches or anybody that wants to help people individually, but you can't scale eventually. I can only talk to one person at a time, but with the digital product, I can create it once and it can scale potentially infinitely. You start talking about Facebook ads and other things and digital advertising that you can learn, and you just make that profitable. Think about paying for advertising, and you pay for Facebook ads, and meaning you pay Facebook to lead to your digital course. And every time you pay them $1, you make $2. My question for you would be, how much money would you spend to do that? I hope your answer is unlimited. You know what I mean? That means if you spent $1 million, you gave $1 million to Facebook, then they would give you $2 million back and you would have $1 million profit. Now, again, obviously there's nuances and skill sets that you need to learn to do this, but it's so scalable. Whereas people trying to scale brick and mortar, hire more people, get more, you know what I'm saying? Now, of course, there's some cons though. There is high competition, and that's fair. You know what I mean? Of course, a lot of people want to get in this game, but what's crazy is most people don't even know about it yet. So the competition is exceptionally low right now compared to what it's going to be in 2024. Follow me? So it's like, you got to just face that and hit it head on. There is a learning curve. One of the reasons why people fail is because they kind of jump in and they oversimplify. Like, digital course seems easy. No, I mean, there's still absolutely some things to master to figure it out, but it's worth that investment. You know what I'm saying? Like, your time, your energy, your resources to figure this out, because it's the dream. I'm not trying to even oversell it. I think you could see this is just a fact of this industry, right? And then there's the easy myth. The myth is that it's easy. It's easier. It's not easy though. Or else everybody would be doing it, right? So definitely learning the best principles taps you into the pros. You don't have to worry about the cons. And so this is McCain Dog Training. They're part of some of our programs, and they've got a physical brick and mortar business where they do have, they train dogs up in Canada. They've got local employees training dogs, but then what they also have, I'm going to check in with you guys in a second, is an online course, My Dog Can. And so this is a online course. It's $400, $397, and someone can buy the course online. And so do you see this? They already actually have an existing business. They've just added another income stream. And that other income stream has all those benefits. So where in their normal business, they need to take fees from clients, but then they also have to pay employees. This digital course can potentially scale infinitely as they apply social media and they use their YouTube channel. You follow me? Super powerful stuff. You've got Flyride. This is actually Chris. Crazy because Chris does custom lighting for cars, the what, how, and why of auto lighting. And so he's got his YouTube channel, but now he's starting like this online course community thing, 5 months to 5 figures, teaching people how you could be building lights as a side hustle and making money on your terms. So he's teaching people how to build these lights, flip them, sell them. I'm not even sure all the details, but it's crazy the different industries people are doing this in. And this is how, this like the secret of how a lot of people that you're wondering, like, how are they doing so well online? Or what is, I mean, affiliate marketing is going so slow for me, or whatever else is going so slow. This is what people are doing. So I was curious if you've bought an online course before. I'm sure the comments have gone through. And so hit me up again. I'm curious if you've seen this industry. Have you ever purchased a course before? I'm going to scroll up a little bit on your training or your things to see if you said, yeah. I don't even know where we are, but let me shout out Convert to Production, Safe Sensei. I hope you're getting value out of this. Starter, yeah, that's Chris, man. He's awesome, man. Paul, good to see you. So I think you're seeing how powerful this is. And there's a couple other, places you could do this. Maybe you've heard of sites like Skillshare, right? So that's a place you could host your online course. Not my favorite because you don't have as much control. In fact, your course lives inside of someone else's subscription, but it's a place of potential influence. You could have a place like Udemy. In fact, I just did this the other day and I was looking this up. And so let's see, Elena's Rosetta Stone. That's a great example. So Elena did Rosetta Stone, which is learning foreign languages. It's a good point of online course. Joan has bought a lot of courses. I use Skillshare, the first layer. First few courses on website design. So you guys already know I'm trying to say you should build a course, right? And check this out. What's so crazy is I was looking this up the other day as an example, and you go like radio frequencies, because you go like, well, what niche would this work in? What niche could this work in? And this is a best-selling course that is $50, okay? And this course has 2,782 students. So with 2,782 students times $49.99, this course has generated $139,000. Can we go back to the fact that this is a course about learning the basic fundamentals of RF? The main purpose of this course is to simplify, whatever. Are you seeing how crazy this is? Take your knowledge, skills, expertise, and package them into a course. Now, I also don't necessarily recommend Udemy, but it is a place where you could get an online course up and get started. Here's a couple good guitar courses or whatever. This brings us to secret number 2. I don't have to be an expert to create a profitable online course. Your next thought might be like, well, okay, cool. I mean, I see it. I mean, it's unquestionable. Like, that was a pretty irrefutable first persuasive secret, Sean. But my thing is, I don't know, like, who am I to teach? I'm not an expert. What even could I teach? What would my niche be? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because the truth is, you don't have to be an expert to create a profitable online course. So tip number 1, you just have to be one step ahead. You just have to be one step ahead. So the other day, I was on DMing someone and they had conflicted over like their expertise and what they could help people with. And they're like, I want to help moms and I want to help new moms. I just don't know if I can. So I went to their Instagram feed and I found out that this mom had 4 kids and all of her kids looked like they were pretty well dressed and not killing each other and not murdering each other. And I was like, well, that seems successful. Like, you've got kids that are ages 4 through almost 10 that look well dressed and seemingly well behaved in this photo. You have accomplished a feat that not many, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, you've made mistakes that you could help people avoid, and you've had some successes, and you could pass all of that along. I mean, what did I say at the beginning of this? I'm like, look, I've done some things good over the years, but I've also made some mistakes. In fact, you're going to get the most value out of this training from the mistakes I made, because it's going to help you go further faster. So I was like, are you kidding me? You've been pregnant 4 times. So can you speak to someone, maybe the emotions and the challenges and the tips that a mom needs that's going through pregnancy? Yeah, you can. And can you speak to year 1, year 2, or even child 1, child 2? And so eventually there's kind of a blocker there. If you're just a little bit ahead, by the way, she had 4 kids. If you got a 1-year-old, you could teach on the last 2 years. You could start journaling right now. Write down this, lessons I've learned, and do this for any industry. Like, lessons I've learned. There's some free content that could lead to your digital course, or there's the outline for your digital course. You just have to be one step ahead. Now, tip number 2, this is a big insight, so really write this down. Beginners are always the largest market and one of the best audiences to start with. So what happens is, I actually made some big mistakes early on in my career. And of course, they all work out and we work them to the good. But when I look back and what I wish I would have done differently is understood that I didn't need to wait so long to create my first digital course. And that's why I said I left thousands of dollars on the table, because I was like, oh, I'm not ready. I really need to come out with something fancy. I really need to come out with something really impressive. When in fact, the largest market of any market is people who are just getting started. The smallest market of any market is people who are intermediate and advanced, because people trickle off, right? The easiest thing to teach is the beginner steps. So I was sitting there thinking, let's talk about YouTube. I created an advanced course. I was thinking about what people needed. I realized even people, they didn't have their avatar done, their cover image done. They didn't know what the clarity of their channel was. They didn't know a lot of basics. Meanwhile, I wanted to create the secrets of the universe of how to rank videos. So the second tip though is beginners are always the largest market and one of the best audiences to start with, meaning you don't have to be Joe Satriani, who's a famous guitar player, to teach guitar. If you're just intermediate guitar, you could teach beginners. If you're just beginner, barely a little past beginner, you could help someone who's like trying to figure out how to get started and what guitar to buy. Do you see what I'm saying? One step ahead, and starting out with something that's beginner is great. There's another reason for it. When you start off with beginner, that's not the end of your online course journey. That's where people can meet you and they can then go through the steps with you. So starting with the beginner course is the fastest way to start. It's probably the easiest way to start. It's the largest market, and it's also the first step in any journey. So there's so many perks, and that's what I wish I would have done. So here's 3 mistakes I made. Number 1, building an advanced online course when starting. Like the first thing I did was it was honestly pressure. I was like, oh, I need to impress people. And again, it worked out because it was a good course, but I also waited so long. That's maybe one of these other mistakes. I built also an extra large online course when I started. I think the best way to get started is like 1 hour. Here's a way to look at it. Your extra large, my academy, Video Ranking Academy, it's like a week of what it would take me to teach YouTube for you. So then your next question is like, well, if you're going to take a week to teach somebody something, that's an academy. If you're going to take a day, that's like a digital course. That's maybe $200, $197. But if you're going to take an hour, just 1 hour with somebody and teach them the things they need to know about being a new mom. And then here's what you could think about like a mini course you create. What would you sit down with a friend you care about at Starbucks and just warn them about, give them tips about, and help them go further faster, right? Me, that's what I should have done. But what I did was I built an extra large online course, stressed myself out, right? And then number 3, waiting too long to start, because I could have started years earlier with like a YouTube 101, like just help them, you know what I'm saying? So these are some 3 mistakes. Screenshot this for sure, because these are big blocks that hold a lot of people back. Like thinking it needs to be fancy, thinking it needs to be 10 hours or 50 hours long. No, I'm saying get started with like 1 hour, like the 1 hour coffee conversation that's going to get people results. And so the next piece though, is that you still might say, okay, but I don't feel like I'm an expert. So there's actually 3 paths I want to give you to creating a profitable online course that are proven. These are proven paths that also can help you get in the game without saying, okay, but even you, Sean, like you got some subscribers on YouTube and you've been in YouTube since 2007. So you had some like serious, okay, cool. Let's look at these. There's 3 paths you could do. The first one is you can actually be a knowledge broker, What this is you can get in the digital course game by actually promoting someone else's digital course. Like for example, I am going to be talking about the Marketing Impact Academy in just a second, right? Because that's the way I figured all this stuff out was that. And I'm passing along someone else's course to you, as an affiliate, but I've only ever recommended things that I fully believe in, that are fully, you know what I'm saying? This morning, I put out a video about cameras. I'm an affiliate for that as well. Did you know you could be an affiliate for courses? And you could be a knowledge broker to say, look, I don't even know if I want to go build that thing. And that's the other deal is like what Chalene Johnson has built, I'll tell you about in a second, is an academy. You know what I mean? And I think, why would I reinvent the wheel, even trying to help our community when someone has already laid down the entire path? When you're a knowledge broker, did you know you can be an affiliate for Udemy? You could be an affiliate for Skillshare. You can be an affiliate for all these different things. And so that's being a knowledge broker. A way to do this potentially, and not to like promote my own YouTube stuff, because I'm not trying to recruit affiliates, but like I've got YouTube courses. You theoretically could create a course about helping just real estate professionals or just agents, real estate agents, travel agents leverage YouTube. And then what you realize is you're like, well, I don't really feel like I could build a course on that yet. I could share tips specific to my industry, and then I could point them to Sean's course. And again, I'm just saying hypothetically, and then you're a knowledge broker because you're saying, look, I mean, this is how it works. And you could even then say, and I'm gonna come along and help you with a few tips to make this contextual for exactly what you're doing. See what I'm saying? So you actually can get in the game without even creating a course. The other thing you could do is you could be the reporter. And so when you look at a book like The Laws of Success by Napoleon Hill, who's the author of Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill is probably one of the most famous personal development gurus. It says the self-help guru, like of modern readers. Like he's like the guy. Think and Grow Rich is one of the biggest, books. Napoleon Hill didn't build a successful business. Napoleon Hill went and talked to all the gurus of the day, or Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford, and he compiled their information into this book, into Think and Grow Rich. He was the reporter. People do this all the time now with their podcasts. I am this. In fact, I do all of these paths simultaneously. Some stuff, I'm a knowledge broker. I want to pass along the information that's going to help you. I bring you experts, and meaning like on video influencers and learning from other people. But then think about when we were selling this book, it's one thing to say, well, I've done some stuff and Benji's done some stuff, but this is the best YouTube book, not because of us. It's because we've interviewed over 100 of today's top video influencers, put the best tips in here, put it in our own experience, but it's not just isolated to our own experience. So it makes your content stronger. And the question would be, what would someone be willing to pay? Now, would you have to put work into this? Sure. But if you were to gather the best experts, so like in kids' occupational therapy, and you were to get the best answers or whatever and compile that into a course that is maybe $20, like a little masterclass, of course, the person who that's perfect for is going to want it. Like if you could take the information I want to learn about, and I do this, I actually do this. I get compilations of people who've taught on speaking and communication. I get things like from Success Magazine. You see what I'm saying? That are like compilations of old Jim Rohn, and what they're actually packaging other people's content or other interviews and then presenting them to me to learn about teamwork, leadership, and things like that. And I've invested in that. So that's another path. And then you also could be the results expert. And this works because all you have to do, you don't need to be an expert and no one needs to knight you. You got to choose yourself. You don't need permission to do this. Give yourself permission right now. And knowing that you being the expert just means you're the expert in doing it your way. I was super stressed and anxious and overworked. And so I just had to get out of it. So I created a productivity system, and it's what worked for me. I shared it with 5 of my friends. It changed their life. Their stress levels went down. So then I packaged it and I passed it along to you. Well, did you have a PhD? No, I didn't even go to school. You know what I mean? But like, all I know is it worked, and it works for my friends, and it works for me too. You see what I'm saying? Like, all I know is my whole my closet and everything was massively cluttered, and I had all the stress. And then I went through this system of declutter, and so you just are results in your area. But what's cool is that when you actually follow any of these paths, it actually propels you to being the results expert. Back to this story. One of the reasons why not only have we gotten our own results, but my personal brand has been elevated is actually because of being the reporter. And guess what? I still am the reporter because I'm still ravenous to learn from the best and brightest, because I realize that learning and investing in learning, and that's why I never hesitate to like get a plane ticket and like go to an event and grind all day long to talk to the people that I shoot interviews with, because I'm like, dude, it's leveling me up. Like if I can, in 10 minutes, they're going to share the deepest lessons they've learned in 10 years. It's a shortcut, right? So write these down. You could start with any, you can do them all. You can pick the one that's right for you. In fact, tell me in the chat, which one stands out to you the most? Like which one do you feel like you could be the most? And Starter Garage, being an expert on what works for you, straight up. Napoleon Hill's awesome. I agree. Let me know which ones you think that resonates with you the most. And also, if you have a question, type it in the chat, put like 4 question marks before it and 4 question marks after it, and we're gonna get there in just a second. So the first layer, it's like the results expert. Colorado, broker and teacher, kind of doing it both. I love it. So yeah, these are different paths, and it kind of, I hope, is killing excuses, right, for getting into this industry, which brings us to secret number 3, and it's I don't need a large audience to have a highly successful online course. This is maybe the biggest point of all, because the biggest thing I'm hearing, and I listen to the comments and tweets and YouTube comments and chats and all these different things, so many people are just saying, it's too crowded on social. I can't grow. And I'm never going to make it because I'm never going to have 1 million subscribers or even 100,000 or maybe even 20,000. And here's the good news. You don't actually need a large audience to have a successful online course. There are some things you do need, but that is not one of them. The fact is you do need a large audience to make money with affiliate marketing and YouTube ads, etc. Like in all these other ways of making money, this is why this is the best business model. In all these other ways, you got to have tons of traffic. You got to we do good in affiliate marketing, but Think Media is like, it's been an empire. I mean, my hair turned gray building Think Media. You know what I mean? I mean, like for real, like a lot of work went into it. And the same thing is true for social media influencers that are getting millions of views or even the best brand deals. They have these massive numbers, but you don't need that. You don't need that to have a successful business, even a highly profitable business, and even a high transformation business impacting others. And this is an example. So here's my post when Video Ranking Academy like 1.0 was created. And I posted this on March 3rd. It came out, I think, on March 1st, 2016. So 2016, years ago. And I understand that this is a larger audience, but let's keep in mind, Think Media was like 16,000 subscribers at this time. We just crossed 800,000 subscribers. And that first launch actually on this one, meaning like the first time we promoted it. And in fact, I'll never forget my first live webinar, because back in March, I get this course together and put it out there. And this webinar was a disaster. Now, what's a webinar? It's kind of like this. It's just like a live training, right? And I put the webinar out there and I go through the training and I learned some things. Like you wanted to start talking about your offer at like 45 minutes or whatever, maybe. And I'm going way too long. Point 1, that's like story of my life. Point 2, when you get to the place where I'm like, here's how you go buy Video Ranking Academy. Maybe it's like videorankingacademy.com or something. I had spelt academy wrong. Okay. So this is the first ever webinar. Sweating bullets, stressed out, never done a webinar before, never created a digital course before, never sold a digital course, and never done any of these things before. So super terrified and scared, putting it out there. And now I'm like, and so my friend David and Alice, they live across town in Vegas. They're texting me. Like, what good does that do? Like, I'm mid-webinar, I'm way too late, the URL spelled wrong. They're like, the URL is spelled wrong. I'm like, yeah, everybody in the world knows that, including, I gotta update it. So like they're texting me, bling, bling. It's like just stress. And if that wasn't the worst thing, because we do redirecting on URLs, we use URLs all the time, right? We just like buy a URL like to Masterclass or Think Masterclass, and then we just can send it to whatever page. But because we did forward with masking in GoDaddy and not just forwarding, the site we were sending it to did not allow the page to even load. So the URL is spelled wrong, but even if you spelled it right, you couldn't even get to the sales page. You feel me? So it's like stress, too late, first webinar. I think I spent $50 to $100 on Facebook. I am just losing my mind, terrified. And I'm just like, I'm over, I'm done with, I'm finished, whatever. You're going through all these emotions. The crazy thing was that first webinar generated over, and really the first public selling of the course generated over $10,000. And then I showed you early in the presentation, a couple months later, $17,000. So nearly $30,000 in just a few months from leveraging my influence on YouTube and building a digital course. And we're talking more money than the average social media influencer might make doing all the other stuff we're talking about. You see what I'm saying? With a relatively small audience. Like those numbers, like nobody's getting those unless they are doing this, unless they have some other business model. And so that's why the secret is like, you don't need a large audience to do this. And I think this illustrates it best. If you've never read the article, 1,000 True Fans, it's actually a historic article that could be about this or anything. It's just the idea that if you have 1,000 true fans that would spend $100 with you a year, you'd have a $100,000 a year business. In my opinion, having a digital course is the best way to do that. So if you look at this, 1,000 true fans, if you did a $37 course, it'd be $37,000 in a year. You have a whole year to create content, add value, connect with people, whatever. Now, if you did a $197 course, that'd be $197,000. Do you see what I'm saying? People that I know that are social media influencers too, that do brand deals, and that's great. Everything's great, but they got other bosses. They're waiting for I know YouTube influencers that are paycheck to paycheck. Why? They're not doing this. They haven't built a business. They don't have a business model. They're just like relying on social media influence, right? And so let's say now you create and sell an online course for $97 times 1,000. But let's say you're like, okay, I don't know though. I mean, you're just throwing these numbers out there. I don't know right now if I could do 1,000 in a year. Well, then let's just cut that number down to 250. So let's say you jump into this and you go 250. Like, imagine you've built this. Imagine you have put this together. You're doing your best. It takes a year. And after that year, you put in the work and you do 250. So you'd make $24,250. Here's what's crazy about a digital course is now you're like, okay, well, I learned a lot that year. Good, bad, made some mistakes, but it's already done. Like, I could improve it a little bit, tweak it a little bit, but I've already built it. So in year 2, you're going to sell the same digital course and you're going to do 500 of them. These numbers make sense, friend. You know what I'm saying? That's $48,500. Now, year 3, you're getting in the swing of things. You're figuring this thing out. You're getting this thing dialed in. And now you hit 1,000. It's $97,000. That year 1 is a great year, especially maybe your side hustle, figuring out a few other things, right? Year 2, now you're at like the median income in the USA. There's like 52,000 household income. And in 3 years of mastering, diving into this stuff, on the one course, by now you might have created other courses. Do you see how crazy this can get? And really how practical it is? And there's over 7 billion people on planet Earth and over 4 billion on the internet, 3 to 4, 2 billion coming on the internet in the next couple years, and the e-learning industry blowing up. It's outrageous to not think about and see the possibilities of doing this. So let me know what your questions are. And I have a question for you. Would you, seeing all this, be interested in learning more about how to implement this? Like, if I could help you actually do this, learn all the stuff, learn the training, can I also share some resources with you that could help you go deeper? Just let me know in the live chat. And then I also, if you got some specific questions, I've got some questions over here and we'll get into those in just a second. But okay, cool. Colorado says yes. First Layer says yes. Start a garage. Okay, cool. So let me just share a few more things with you, and then we'll do Q&A in just a second. But the big question that you also might ask, I would think, is why was my first online course a success? Because to be honest, I don't think we should ever expect our first anything to be a success. You know what I mean? Like, why would you? Like, your first painting, it was probably not your best painting if you're a painter. Are we real? The first time you ever wrote a song, like the first time we ever do anything, it would usually not be our best. And I think we should let ourselves off the hook for that. I mean, even with YouTube Secrets, this is not my first book, although it's my first public known book, for example. I wrote YouTube for Churches. It was all right. I wrote this book called Get Noticed, this little short book. It was not good at all. I helped my pastor back in the day write a couple books. So I was learning so much. So when you might come out with a hit, what people don't realize is there might be a few things, behind the scenes. But the reason my first course was so successful was simply because I didn't reinvent the wheel, straight up. I didn't think down and say, okay, it took me 10 years to figure out this YouTube ranking and affiliate marketing stuff. Let me just take another 10 years. I was like, how do I go faster? What is the shortcut? And I mentioned that back when I was in 2014, listening to Chalene Johnson's Build Your Tribe podcast, I discovered the Marketing Impact Academy. And it's when I joined the Marketing Impact Academy that I learned everything that I did for my online course. I literally just followed the system. No joke. Like, never done a webinar? This is how you do a webinar. Never created a digital course. This is how you create a digital course. And even to the tune of doing I just learned it all from that, okay? And so this is what I wanted to share with you briefly, and that's the Marketing Impact Academy. And this is my friend and business mentor, Chalene Johnson's 10-week Go at Your Own Pace virtual course for anyone wanting to grow a business and reach more people online with social media. And if I show you inside here really quick, this is the program. They actually just completely rebuilt it. And so it's better now, but this goes into like laying your brand and business foundation, some essential things like defining your lifer. That is a fundamental key. That is, who are you going to sell your course to, right? And really getting clear on that. But then it goes into the whole thing of product creation, designing your product, testing your product, launching it, and then social media, sales and testimonials, video and live streaming, the online business blueprint. This is what I'm saying. This is just what I followed, was just like this system. And so out the gate, having that successful digital product and then scaling it was just going through the Marketing Impact Academy, the whole system, right? So in the Marketing Impact Academy, it's a $2,000 course, and then there's a bunch of bonuses that they have right now during it. And so the total value of like everything you get inside of there, $26,997 from all the bonuses, etc. But you'll also get my Marketing Impact Academy exclusive and limited bonuses if you take action today on the Marketing Impact Academy. So what we're doing is this is Chalene's course, her whole program, and I'll show you a little bit more about it in a second. But one of our bonuses is a private in-person group mastermind dinner at Marketing Impact Academy Live. So the cool thing is it'll be in 2020, and you get all the recordings as a bonus from the past one. So here was 2020, here was 2019. And so standing out in a saturated market, right? You get all these trainings, but you get 2 free tickets to this live event. And I've actually been speaking, I over the years now. So I was a listener to the podcast, a Marketing Impact Academy student. I actually then freelanced for Chalene, did some video work. And now I'm actually an ambassador inside of her program. So I teach the YouTube portion inside of it. And you'll see me on stage at MIA as well. So all that to say is, what we do is we do a dinner on us as a bonus the night before, where we hang out and you come to dinner. It's on us, drinks, food, and then we work on your business. We also do our growth video course. This is our 101 YouTube course, our YouTube live training bonus. And this is some strategies that, again, really what I wanted to do, because I believe in Chalene's program so much and know it could change your life. But I wanted to support it with the best package of bonuses to get you traffic going to your online course. See what I'm saying? Like, there's the building it, there's the marketing, there's the positioning. And if you don't have the foundation wrong, you're going to lose, even if you get traffic. But this is like, how do you use YouTube Live? How do you get started with YouTube? And then how do you scale that? I'm also going to include the 4th bonus, my personal branding masterclass, which is the things I've learned now building a 7-figure personal brand, the mistakes I've made. And it's like the 10 lessons that I've learned inside of that. That's $1,000 value. So what you're going to get is the Marketing Impact Academy and all of Chalene's bonuses, right? Plus the private mastermind dinner, grow with video, the YouTube live influence system, the personal branding masterclass, total value of $28,985. Like, this is some serious training, right? And there's actually an extra bonus, fast acting, and there's only a few more of these left. And over the last couple years now, or really 2018, this 2018 screenshot, video influencers grew 40% in subscribers. Think Media grew 35%, 60% in watch time minutes. Now, you could say, well, you already have a channel though, but that's not true. Every single day, successful channels are dying off, not evolving, not continuing to see what's working on YouTube right now. So growth like this actually can be a challenge even when you are established. What's my point? We've been testing a ton of strategies. Ranking is a foundation for us, but there's 9 other strategies that we've been testing that have led to these crazy results. And that is turned into the YouTube Hypergrowth Blueprint. This is now our signature course. And what I mean is actually Video Ranking Academy is a part of Hypergrowth Blueprint. And because ranking is just one strategy, but there's new strategies. For the first time ever, it's 14 hours. I went into the analytics. I went into what's working on YouTube so you can leverage the algorithm, get the algorithm triggered. And so you get the foundation of growing on YouTube, an introduction and advanced strategies for YouTube analytics, the 10 commandments of YouTube, and that 10 high growth strategies the pros won't tell you about. So this isn't even out yet. It's unreleased. We're going to be promoting it in a month or two. And this retail of value of $2,000. Okay. So that's just a limited, very limited fast acting bonus. So what you're going to get is the Marketing Impact Academy, Shalene's bonuses, the private mastermind dinner, Grow with Video, the YouTube live streaming influence system, personal branding masterclass, the YouTube hypergrowth blueprint, total value of $30,982, which is insane, but this is a really powerful thing. I mean, this is for people that are serious, right? This isn't just dabbling in social media. This is saying, I see that this is a business. And when you start thinking about what it costs to go enroll at a university and actually get degrees that potentially are having less and less influence in society, that's like what it costs to do a year of college, right? 30, 50 grand, you have your other expenses. But think about this. If all this did for you, it was finally make your business profitable, would it be worth it? Like from here on out, like you invest once, but you have a profitable business and scaling brand for months and years to come. Yeah, I mean, it'd be worth it. If all this did for you is give you a kick in the butt to finally get moving, would it be worth it? And if all this did for you was help you create and launch a profitable online course and create reoccurring revenue, would it be worth it? I understand it's a lot of training. It's a big dollar amount, but think about the transformation. Think about having a business you're proud of, a lifestyle of freedom, right? That's what having a profitable online course does for you. And so with what's one profitable online course worth? Like just one course, you could start selling your course and earning 5K, 10K, 25K, more than that. And again, you do it once and it's 1K, but then you tweak it, you get better at it, and then it's 8K, right? That's the way it works. It's this ongoing process. And then scaling those numbers with the best online marketing and social media strategies. Like what would that, really be worth? This is a screenshot now of even what just our digital course business did in the last 30 days. Pretty powerful, right? And of course, I'm saying, these are just our personal results and I use these as illustrative purposes, but you could see like the impact that it's possible to create with this. And so here's the deal. Like what you'll get is all of this stack, right? But it's not $30,982. That's the real world value. And you dive into the whole thing, right? And you'll see it. But you could get instant access to all of this, the Marketing Impact Academy, Shalene's bonuses, and our bonuses for $1,997, $1,997. Or there's payment options that make this a no-brainer. I think around $360 to get started. And again, I share this with you if you're serious. You're ready to stop dabbling and start dominating. You feel like, man, I want that guide. I want that roadmap. This, for $2,000 to invest in a proven expert, a proven business plan, and then bonuses to support it, and to start again, these are real businesses. I know sometimes this internet stuff can kind of feel like hype. This is not hype. Globally, people are doing this. So an investment in a business, it seems crazy to me, right? Like, just take this 10 years ago and you can't get started in a business for $2,000. Like you want to go down to the bank, you know what I mean? Say, I want to start a business and like try to get a loan, whatever. Like this is real deal. So get instant access, $19.97. All of the details are at miabonus.com. miabonus.com. Now, quick story, and then I'll get to some Q&A. Meet Nicole. So here's Nicole. She's now actually kind of been a part of our community for a year or two, probably like 2 years. So she, through our YouTube training, her YouTube channel is blown up. She had a breakout video, around 30,000 subscribers now. This breakout video did almost 600,000 views, which was really good because it triggered this audience for her, right? So that's our YouTube training. You're going to get that today, right? In fact, you're going to get the most cutting edge, best unreleased course I just finished recording. And that's the YouTube training. Her YouTube channel right, is growing by almost 2,000 subscribers a month, and she's posting 4 videos a month. So she's got kind of the traffic side of things going. But then Nicole, a while back, also joined the Marketing Impact Academy. So that's Nicole right there at our dinner, this last one that we went to. And at the dinner, we were able to sit down with her and talk about that next step and getting her digital course built and some marketing things and even positioning. By the way, there's Dr. K as well. He is also in our other trainings and the Marketing Impact Academy. Recently just did his first $1,300 sale online through getting an idea out of the Marketing Impact Academy, implementing it, and then seeing that money come in. It was really, really cool. But this is about Nicole. So Nicole was at our dinner, and now she's building out her courses, right? So she's got a Weaning Essentials course. If you're for weaning your new baby, she's a kid's occupational therapist, $16 course. And then she also has got these 30-minute sessions where people can hire her online. So I actually should note that the Marketing Impact Academy is actually not a digital course academy. That's a major piece that it teaches, but it teaches Shopify, physical products. Chalene Johnson, the creator, has done journals and books and water bottles and has built and sold 7 different 7-figure businesses. So she's a real deal. So anyways, this is just a kind of a case study of someone who's gone through this process. And that's my vision for you. That I know that it's a big investment. I know it can be scary, but your future is worth way more than this investment. And you'll forget about the money. You really will in a couple years, but you won't forget the transformation. Wendy, who actually, because I've been working with Chalene now, again, 2016, 2017, then eventually she, had me speak at MIA. So I've known her for a couple years. So even a couple years ago, I was telling Wendy about MIA. She bought it then. She did the payments. 2 years have gone by. She's building her influence. But here's what's crazy. She's forgot about buying Marketing Impact Academy, but you get lifetime access. She still has it. She's still going through it. She's still applying the training. They just revamped it. They just gave all new updates. She still has it. And so she made that investment one time, but it's really, what do you believe for your future? Do you want to be a part of this wave? And you want the shortcut. Could you go figure it out on your own? Maybe eventually. Could you figure it out on your own between now and 2025? Maybe not. And what I mean is the opportunity cost of saying, why reinvent the wheel when you can get the cutting edge and the shortcut to diving straight into it? So anyways, here's what you're going to get. The Marketing Impact Academy, my personal branding masterclass, grow with video, the entire thing. Total value, $30,982, but just a no-brainer price, starting with Chalene, but then of course the bonuses that we add on. And you could get that at miabonus.com, miabonus.com. And let me hit some of your questions. And if you've got some other questions, post those, give me some question marks. And thanks again for being here on the training. I'm pumped to dive into some of your questions. All right. So John, I already have an online course, but I've hardly sold it anyway. What's the best way to sell a course? So John, there's a few things that could be wrong on the journey. So here's like the things to inspect. The first question is actually, are you doing the right things in the right order? That's what Chalene is obsessed with. And so the first thing is, jot these down. I'll just give you like a tour through MIA and you could see what you would do first, right? And so you need to define your lifer and your expertise. If you haven't defined your lifer, your target audience and your avatar, but Chalene actually takes it deeper. There's someone in our community that just mentioned that I'll see if Heather can pull it up. There's like a little story. I actually can maybe get to it. That just the kind of worksheets in the first part of MIA changed everything for them. They got like really, really clear on this. So Heather, maybe send me that picture over again. But anyways, so you want to do that first. So you want to get really clear here. Get your brand figured out. Your brand basics, like you're not your product, getting your brand, your image, because this stuff, and you might think, well, my course isn't selling. No, it's like, you got to get the foundation. Okay. So you want to get that going. And then your ultimate goal is to then make sure you've created the right product. I mean, I'm not saying you haven't, John, but what I am saying is that that's probably these are the biggest things that people make mistakes for. First of all, they don't actually identify the audience first, the audience need first, and then create a product in response to the audience in a way what they're already asking for. and then create a product that is then marketed in a way that they'll understand. Those are some of your big pain points. Is it marketed right? Is the information resonating with your audience? Okay. Then the next piece would be, what is your sales process? For example, your sales process is going to be maybe free content online, and then eventually you have like a free download. You're probably familiar with this, like a lead magnet or creating a freemium. How good that freemium is and that lead magnet, if you will, in relation to the course, and then the secrets that leads them to the course, all matters. I mean, I don't want to, of course, I'm not going to hold anything back. That's what I mean by like mastering these distinctions. And that's what I mean. I know that maybe Marketing Impact Academy is not right for you right now, but that's why it's such a powerful program, and why I wanted to bring it up and share it, was because it's so many different moving parts. Going through the right steps in the right order and having the confidence that you're following the proven principles is very important. But you could take what I just, the information I just give you, and then audit your course and tweak it. And I think you could level some things up a little bit. Okay, Luma. Considering there is money to be made dispensing knowledge, should I worry I'm giving away too much for free on YouTube? Do you have to hold yourself back? So there's a couple different ways to think about this. Number one, you could give away great information on YouTube, just not your best information. And it's not even that you would hold back. Like, you can even give away like some of your best information, but you're giving only pieces. So number one, great information, maybe not your best. Number two, what you also are giving away, or when you think about giving away information, is you're not giving away all the steps in the right order. Like, you're on this master, I'm telling you as many answers as I can get you, right now. But naturally, it would be incomprehensible to lay out all of this training, right? You know what I mean? Like, this is hers. And you take even let me take you inside of here. Here's Hypergrowth Blueprint. So here's you've got the number one secret to success here. It's the intro module, 21 minutes, okay? And then you've got the foundation to hypergrowth, as well as our brand new workbook that we put together in this as well. You've got a quick tour of analytics, and then you've got 10 YouTube analytics that'll help you grow faster, learning all about these things. And then question and answer, how do my analytics work on a smaller channel? Now, remember, your first course doesn't need to be a robust course like this. And then we get into the strategies, answer specific questions. So that's one strategy, topics and trends. Just this strategy is a 17-minute training. So you see what I'm saying? So I can put out really valuable, what you'll probably see me do is I'll teach Signature Show, which is one of our most powerful trainings. It's 30 minutes here. And then your questions are answered all right here of different things, all related to Signature Show. So I'll teach Signature Show potentially on Think Media, okay? But then what'll happen is I can't teach the whole hypergrowth on there, or I could, but like, it makes sense. Like, so I could put out like a good piece of information and then just say, look, the 14 hours thing exists in this course. And it's just true. And the last couple things is accountability. One of the things that you're investing in when you invest in a program that you're going to create is the same thing that you get out of the Marketing Impact Academy. Not just a Facebook group, but there's also now a whole new support portal inside of the members area. So you'll get your questions answered right underneath the videos. There's a whole team. There's other people. One of the reasons we will succeed is not just because of information from a course, but because of being connected to a community. One of the reasons why Nicole and Dr. K and the other members are doing so well is because of like who you get around, like your proximity. It levels you up. You know what I'm saying? So when you get people in a Facebook group and in community, it increases their results. So what they don't get by just reading a book is that's just information. But when you get a community on top of it, and then the final thing is letting people know that, again, when you finally package all your information in a course, you're going to put the right steps in the right order. But I've learned this, that if people don't pay, they don't pay attention. Like, it is in your best interest. I know this sounds crazy. It's in your best interest to actually take advantage of this offer right now. Why? And that's, again, assuming that, like, yes, I want to create a digital course. Yes, Sean, what you're saying is making sense. Yes, I don't want to miss this opportunity. I see it. The Forbes, it's all there. It's all real. Why? because when you pay attention. When we have free information, there's a lot of free information in podcasts. There's a lot of free information in all over the place and bits and pieces, but a lot of times it doesn't get us off the couch. I'll tell you what gets me off the couch is investing in myself and putting some skin in the game. I've learned that the transformation gets started in the transaction, because when people pay, they pay attention. You know, there's an ancient verse, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. I'm going to be honest with you. You're not going to succeed in online business if you don't put your heart in it. And I'm not trying to say your heart's not in it, but you know what if you don't buy in, you don't push in, you don't say, okay, I'm going to get invested in this, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to start putting my actions, including my time. You're not going to get results out of any of my training or Shalene's if you don't also buy in with your energy and with your time. I need it all from you, right? Because we're upset. We want to help 10,000 people create financial freedom, leveraging online video and social media. And this is a program that can get you there. So anyways, you can take some of those nuances for your own trainings, for your own programs, about what is free, what isn't free. I think that will help you. Someone recently in our Thomas from our Inner Circle program just jumped into MIA already. And he said, just started MIA and 2 lessons in. It's already worth it. Builds on, expands on VRA. If you could swing the money, I'm finding tons of value. It connects a ton of dots that adds value to the VRA IC blueprint. I honestly was skeptical due to the price point, etc. Solid investment. No affiliate marketing. Sean didn't pay me to or ask me. The first 2 worksheets alone are worth $1,000 in coaching time. So it's powerful that he said that, because the reality is that those foundational pieces of defining your lifer, getting your expertise clear. And there's a whole workbook too. Let me see. So you get the workbook free. The alumni have to purchase it for $197. That's a whole nother bonus that comes out. But let me see if I can get to it. I'll show you the workbook. It's pretty crazy. And you can, it's right here inside of the members area. And let me answer some more questions as that's being pulled up. All right, here we go. So Melissa, basically like having 4 courses, meal starting with Apparaf. Okay, content, appetizer, freemium, salad, webinar, entree, paid course. That's I like that analogy. Yeah, appetizers is kind of your freemium. There's like a taste of it. That's funny. Aperitif, I don't know if that's fancy. Like, is that pre-appetizer meal? Like, as over my head. Another way I like to think about it is the way that we're doing online business is kind of like dating and relationships and marriage. Whereas marriage is when someone finally does business with you and they dive into your course. Dating is where you're official or engaged. Getting engaged is that email address, like that freemium. And dating is when they're just watching your free social media content. Make sense? So you're dating, and then it's like, okay, I'll go to another level. Let me check out your webinar, your freemium. And then eventually it's like, okay, I see you're good for it. I see that your results speak for it. I see that you're a real person. You have a real business, like those types of things. So yeah, like great analogy. So this is the workbook. The workbook is 300 pages. So not to be overwhelming, but what Shalene's vision here was that you would not need some missing piece, some other course. That concept to completion, you could do the right steps in the right order, and then you can scale from there. And it's a reference. So it kind of keeps your blinders on just to focus on a few things. And then eventually, when you're ready to do Facebook ads, when you're ready to maybe do a physical product or start a Shopify for it, when you're ready to do your webinar, you don't have to do one. You know what I'm saying? You can come back to it and keep referencing it. And I can testify to that as well, in the sense that being around with Shalene, there's no upsells. You know what I mean? Like, I've been a part of this game for a long time. Like, there's, sometimes there's upsells and there's other things. And like, eventually she like has a high ticket mastermind. I'm not saying she's never going to start one, but what's really cool is like, this is it all. She gives you everything. She doesn't withhold anything. There's nowhere else to go. It's the complete course. I mean, MIA Live to just get more value. You know what I mean? And then she just keeps updating it. So a lot of times people out there is like, you get this, but then on the next page, you need to get all these things too. Like, no, it's completely comprehensive. And so you can have a lot of stuff in there. Joan jumped in. Sean is not kidding. MIA program is a great investment to design your online business. I'm currently going through the steps to build my online business. Awesome, Joan. Super pumped that you jumped in. And thanks so much for sharing that testimony. Let's see here. Drive by Christian. Shalene, courses and academy training is far more valuable than an MBA or a BA that costs you $100,000 plus. I'm sure some people would debate that, but I completely agree. It's practical, proven in the trenches. And here's the cool thing is go to miabonus.com where you can see all the information. That's at miabonus.com is how you take action. And then it's over on, you can see all the details about our bonus. You know, you make sure to use my affiliate link because then you get all of our bonuses. And then it'll take you to Shalene's thing. And she's got crazy testimony. People have done this for soccer online courses, soccer coaches. People have done this in beauty and lifestyle, network marketing. People do this for brick and mortar businesses. I just had a great conversation last night with a nonprofit type of person, found out that it's like perfect to master this stuff. I mean, you're in good hands. It's a proven program. And it's all, by the way, this is all no risk. Like if right now you're like, I don't know, I should think about it. Number one, she is closing the doors. Like this thing shuts down. Once they hit a student enrollment cap, they shut it down, which I think is tonight or tomorrow night. Like it's not very long. So don't wait to make sure to get all the bonuses and everything else during this offer. And then can you get in later? Yeah, next year. I mean, she does close the doors and the doors are closed. And if, you know, this is truly no pressure, but then another year goes by and now it's 2020 and we're closer to the crest of that wave. I know it's 6 years out, but this thing moves fast. So that's why I wanted to get this in front of you so you can get in the game sooner. Let's rapid fire some questions. Barry, if I buy a 10-week course, how long is it available? Does it expire? Lifetime. So this is what's crazy, Barry, is you get lifetime access. And that thing is no joke. Wendy said, you know, I did the payments for MIA. It's worth so much more and has been helpful to me. Wendy bought it 2-3 years ago. And so she gets all of the new, you know, updates, the new modules, the workbook. You know, Wendy, if she was to buy it or to get the workbook, she would buy it. So you're an alumni, you order your MIA playbook, but you can also just download the PDF for free. But if you take action right now, miabonus.com, the letters miabonus.com, they mailed the book to you. It's $200. I mean, it's a massive workbook to get clear on your whole business. But all to say, if you can't use the tickets next year because of travel and whatnot, then you could use them in 2021. And this event is going on like 5 or 6 years now. The academy gets stronger. The movement gets stronger. Honestly, too, the price will never be this low as it just gets better and stronger. Prices go up, bonuses change. You know what I'm saying? So in answer to your question, Barry, again, I'm not trying to minimize the fact that your heart's beating, right? It's like, okay, it's a lot of money, like 1997. But on the flip side, you will forget about it in 2 years, but you won't forget the transformation. You know what I mean? Like you will be able to change your life, your business, your future from the information, the transformation you experience in the course. But also life has ups and downs, like meaning if you hit a season where it's life kind of hits you, you can't study for 3 months, you can always come back to it. And so many alumni, that's where like the alumni movement of the Marketing Impact Academy is insane. Because what people realize is they're like, dude, I've been in this thing for like 5 years. And it just keeps getting better. This is like the best investment I've ever made. And by the way, you have lifetime access to our training as well. So you can completely take it at your own pace. Mihai, should I focus on growing an audience or creating a course? You should focus the way it's taught in the Marketing Impact Academy, which I believe is the right way, is you need to focus first. Here's another way to put it. Let me rephrase the question. It's not the best question to ask. And what I mean is you shouldn't actually focus on growing an audience or creating either of those things first. You should focus on your brand and business foundation first. Make sense? Because if you don't have the right foundation, then why are you even on social media? And then, yes, it would be figuring out a baby offer. So when we say course, let's go back. Not an academy, but yes, you should get a course first. It could be simple. It could be a $7 offer, 17, 27. Because guess what? Then when you're on social media and you get true fans throughout the journey, I don't care if there's 20 people there, 2 of them can now say, how do I go to another level with you? How do I go to the next step? They get your freemium and they get your course. But then it just scales and compounds. Do you see what I'm saying? When you actually have the right pillars in place first, then your actions on social media make sense. So it's all about doing the right things, but also the right things in the right order. And so that's what I would do in answer to your question. Do you advise on start making tutorial type videos as a beginner on YouTube to build an email list and then start building more in-depth course for a fee? Kind of the same answer. I think that you can start making momentum to build your influence, but it goes back into, and I would say again, not even in depth. The key here is, what would you teach in 1 hour? Does that make sense? You could get a course done in a weekend. You could, because you could already go teach somebody what you know in 1 hour. Your friend needs to know everything you know about modding their Honda Civic, fixing and putting parts on it. And that's your obsession. And you sit down with that Starbucks, you're like, oh yeah, I use this one website. That place sucks. Never order it there. You know what I'm saying? And that is valuable. And when you can package that, there's a few tips. The course, there's features and benefits. And you don't just want the features of the course. Oh, it's 1 hour long. It's 4 videos and it helps you, be healthier. What you want is, people are like, be healthier, is people want to save time. They want to save money, or they want to make money, or they want to have peace of mind, so if you were marketing a homeschool course, what is the result the person wants? This is really good. Write this down. As I would say about, self, this is really good, but I think this will help you. If the course, now you'll finally be able to reduce stress, have more free time while raising up the smartest homeschool kids in your community. It's a homeschool course. See what I'm saying? So is it, they maybe want the training on the homeschool course, but what is it they really want? The smartest kids. What is it they really want? To feel more confident as an instructor. You know what I'm saying? So when you get, and that kind of stuff is what is the difference maker between success and failure. What are we talking about? Marketing, like marketing, branding, positioning. So it kind of can be frustrating because people think, oh, no, that just doesn't work. Well, no, there's those critical components and foundational pieces you want to get into place. So, we have like 1 or 2 more questions here, but just to miabonus.com. And I want to encourage you, like, now is your time to get in this game. And I think this is the right offer for you. If you're still here, you're still watching this, what are you waiting for? I know it's a big leap. I know it's a big step. But there's big opportunity waiting for you on the other side. The greatest things in life happen outside of our comfort zones. And I understand that this is a move outside of your comfort zone. But I encourage you to make the investment in yourself. And so to do that, all my bonuses, all of Shalene's bonuses, MIA, the core program, the workbook, you get it all. I've never seen an offer like this on the internet. And I'm not trying to be hypey, and I know these numbers, I'm really not. I've never seen an offer like this on the internet. The world-class YouTube training for traffic. YouTube is still, in my opinion, the best platform to build your influence. It doesn't mean I'm not paying attention to LinkedIn and Instagram, but the mechanics of it being a search engine and the audience there and how healthy it is and how it continues to grow, you're going to master YouTube with the training you get in this package. And you're going to have a resource for your pursuit of mastery in online business, social media, online marketing from the best in the game, Chalene Johnson. And just go to MIA bonus to check it all out. And I have a couple more questions, but this is kind of how I think about, like, again, if you were going to build an online business and building a brand, it's kind of like trying to climb a mountain, right? Like, I'm not trying to, it's the easy myth. The easy myth is like, oh, you know what? I'll just go figure this out on my own. I'll tell you what you wouldn't do. You wouldn't try to climb a mountain on your own. You know what I mean? Especially like Everest, because going alone is both foolish and deadly, straight up. Like if you try to climb Everest alone and you've never done it before, you have a high chance of dying. And so you would invest in a couple things. If you're going to climb Everest, you'd buy a map, right? Like you're not trying to reinvent the wheel. Someone's already made a map of how to get to the top, of how to reach the summit, of how to reach success. You'd also hire a guide. The truth, when you go up Everest, you hire a guide who's already been to the top successfully, even multiple times in multiple different industries, right? You see the analogy. You'd get a guide as well to get to the top. You'd also invest in training and tools so that you can succeed on your journey to the top. If you are going to climb Everest, this particular package, you could book a trip, it's $16,000. But they handle all the different things that you need to climb Everest, to get the training, to get the right equipment, and stay at the base camps. So you get the training and the tools, and then also community, because we're stronger together. When you're climbing a mountain, you're carabiner to others. You're not out there alone, but you're in a community. And the same is true about online business. Like that is when I think about the Marketing Impact Academy, our training, it's really no different. There's so many different things to learn, from like webinars to landing pages to what do I do when, and all of those different things. And so that is what this training is. It is a shortcut to the top of the mountain to figure out how to maximize this time in history. So go to miabonus.com to take action on this extremely limited offer. And I want you to know that I believe in you. I believe in this moment, and I believe this can really help you. I know that the best investments I've ever made in my life have always been in myself. I don't look back, and I'm not thankful for any clothing purchases I've made or vehicle purchases. All that stuff's cool, but that stuff just wears out. It gets scratched. It gets shrunk in the the washer and the dryer. We have hard water here in Vegas. It gets weird stains, even though we put soda water or baking soda in the water. And we're trying to get a hard water filter for our garage. Why? Because the hard water is hard in Vegas. What's the point? I've forgotten all the investments I made, in stuff. But all the training, all the books, all the conferences, all the courses have made me who I am today, which have made me valuable. You know what I mean? Like my value to be able to go produce income, grow my business, continue to accelerate and advance. And it's been from making investments like this. And so I know it's crazy. I know that right now there's, but it's completely risk-free. You do have 30 days to get the workbook, get the course, get the training, go through it, see if it's right for you. And no questions asked. If you're like, you know what, it's not quite what I thought it was, or I'm not quite ready, you can get a full refund. Shalene's team, Aliso Viejo, California. We were just there. You know what I mean? Like huge mentor in my life, but a friend in my life. Some of the most world-class, integrous people I've ever met. I love them not just because they teach great online courses and training and events, but because of who they are as people. I met their team. Team's happy, healthy. I met their kids, Sierra, Brock. Like they're world-class people. And so everything they put out, they put their heart and their stamp of excellence on. And you're going to get all that. Plus, we share the same values because they're mentors. So get instant access. miabonus.com is all the details. And jump into this while it's still open. And Brian, what should I keep in mind regarding copyrights? If I'm expanding my knowledge from books and videos, can I use that knowledge in a respectful, legal way and still make money? Oh, yeah, Brian. So you've probably read a book where, in fact, a lot of authors quote other books. You've seen that, right? They cite their source. They go, actually, John Maxwell put it this way, and they put like a paragraph of text. And so in trainings, you could compile other people's frameworks and trainings. The key is citing your source, your bibliography. Did I just say that? You know what I mean? Like growing like middle school, like your reference sheet or whatever. And so Andre, but we are too small to even sell online courses. What do I do? Just wait and keep grinding? It's not true. You're not too small. You really only need one customer. And here's what I mean. Let's say this person finds this video. The bigger question is probably, what niche are you in? What's your positioning? What's your brand foundation, right? They find a video. It's helpful. At the end of the video, you say, hey, if you got value out of this, there's more stuff over here. They go get some more free content from you. And then you say, hey, if you want to actually just get it all right now, I've got a 2-hour course. It just breaks everything down. You could just get instant access right now. It's $20. And you could sell that $20 course a couple weeks from now. You only need one customer, but you do need a plan. You need a target. You need a focus. And you might, where a lot of us could be, where you might be right now, is you might be unsure of your expertise and your expertise, exploring your expertise. You are an expert. We guarantee it. Whether you believe it or not, you're an expert at something, a lot of things. And so it goes into all the different approaches to you're an expert. And here's what's cool. Not only do you get the audios and the transcripts, a lot of these lessons, you just jump on audio. You can do these while you're working, on your drive. You can take the Marketing Impact Academy, and all of our training is available on tablets, phones, desktop computers, so long as you have an internet connection. And you can listen to it on audio or video, listen to it on your commute. We don't suggest watching videos on your commute. So you can turn your car, your travel into an online university. So you're leveling up, you're getting skills, you're gaining skills, and you're learning the most relevant, actionable information to make a massive impact. So, hey, thanks so much again for being here on this training. The way to get access to all of this and continue your learning right now is go to miabonus.com. Just go to miabonus.com. Why not now? Why not you? Imagine yourself with a successful selling profitable online course. Imagine making income, whether you're with your kids or on vacation or asleep. That is the reality of this. A lot of people hype that up. It's true. It is the reality. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people around the world are doing this right now. And yes, with rising competition, but it's just getting started, because between now and 2025, it's going to be $1 billion a day. Let's get 1% of that for our community. But I don't know the math on that. A fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent of the e-learning industry is something you and me need to be a part of. And this is your fast track. This is that shortcut. This is the step-by-step blueprint to get there. miabonus.com. Type that in, go there, click the button, find out a way to get there. But get there, because it will change your life, your business, and it's a proven path that I share with you unapologetically, because it's something that transformed my life. And I just told you my story. It's my story. It's how we launched our first course, and it's the system that we follow. So, hey, thanks again for being here. miabonus.com. And I cannot wait to see you in a future training, a future video. And go now, though, just to MIA Bonus. And then probably the last thing to say is when you go there and you click through, Shalene actually has a masterclass that you'll enjoy too. If you're kind of on the fence, you want to learn more, miabonus.com is your next step. Thanks again so much for being here on this training. Appreciate you. Keep crushing it. Keep smashing it. And I will see you in a future video.